going on, everyone? Welcome back to MP Paranormal. We're driving around in downtown San Antonio right now.
The one, the only.
We're actually going to meet one of our very good friends. He's at Bad Wolf Ghost Tours here downtown.
Yep, Mr. Wolf and one of our other dear friends, Laura, a great tour guide for the company, Bad Wolf Ghost Tours, which we're going to be doing an interview here with Wolf so he can talk about his company to y'all, because it's really one of the best paranormal tours down here in San Antonio. But more specifically, y'all asked for it, we're coming through. In the back seat, right there, is our Momma Lola doll. And we're finally gonna investigate her. And we're gonna take a deep dive into the world of Haitian Voodoo. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, Dylan, you called me one day and you're like, you're not gonna believe what I just bought. I'm like, what is it? What is it? I'm excited, you know? And then he tells me it's a voodoo doll, and I'm like, okay, because I don't understand voodoo at all, right? So I'm like, okay, we're voodoo doll owners, so what do? We have to understand this piece of history that we now own, which is actually, we do own a piece of history.
Yes.
Because this doll did belong to Momma Lola, and she's a very prominent figure for Louisiana voodoo. And going through that, we looked at what voodoo is, and it's a belief system. So that's the way we're approaching it today. We're trying to approach it with respect. There's one God creator, his name's Bondier, and there's the Loa, correct, Dylan?
Yep.
The Loa, which are the lesser gods, or gods on the earthly plane that help you mediate between the living and the divine. So human beings will petition to the Loa for spiritual truth, divination, things like that. And for me, this is where it kind of got concerning, and we got to be careful today because of this reason. The Loa like to possess people and speak through them, and that is how you gain their spiritual truth that they have to do.
Yep, that's one of the common experiences and the common ways that the priests and priestesses of the Voodoo Temple and Voodooism in general commune with the Loas. Like I said, it's a pantheon of spirits, bunches of different spirits that they commune through. So it's a little...
We're not trying to get possessed today or any day in the future, but we have to be careful because if there is a Loa, we don't know what's attached to this doll. We don't even know if the doll has a name or a spirit that is attached to it. Now, I will tell you, at Paranormal Fest, we had many self-proclaimed psychics come up and say, yes, that doll is absolutely spiritually charged.
Yep.
There's a female entity attached to it, etc. So our goal today is to privately investigate this thing, you know, with the blessing of Bad Wolf Ghost Tours, using their location, to see if there's anything attached to it. Either there is a Loa, or there's a human spirit, or God knows what is attached to this thing, and then maybe nothing is attached to it at the same time.
Yeah, because the story is that Momma Lola did a binding ritual on this doll, and that she provided it with a blessing. And in the package, when I was doing my research, I found a chicken's foot and a black candle. So we know that this, or at least we assume that this is a good energy, because one, Momma Lola was a spiritual healer who practiced primarily.
People would petition and go to her for healing. They would ask for spiritual strength. We're not. Hoodoo is the stuff where we're stabbing pins into dolls, and that's what the pop culture is blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
Right. So we're looking to educate. There's a difference. Voodoo is the good stuff. Hoodoo is the bad stuff. We have a voodoo doll, not a hoodoo doll.
Correct. And the chicken's claw is supposed to symbolize scraping away bad energy off of the vessel, and then the black candle, black being an absorbing color, the black candle is to store that negative energy. So we presume that she's a good doll and that she's been blessed by Momma Lola, but she has a very strong energy. So yeah, we're coming around the corner right now and we're about to go meet Wolf. So I think this is gonna be a real interesting one. We brought some things to offer her and a bunch of equipment to investigate her. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out what's attached to this doll, if at all. So we're approaching this very open-minded.
Yep. All right, we'll see you in a little bit.
Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MG Paranormal. We're actually coming from you down here in downtown San Antonio. We're here with Mr. Wolf.
How's it going?
Wolf, can you tell us where we're at today?
Yeah, right now we're in downtown's only tarot reading room, the Bad Wolf reading room. Inside my shop, Bad Wolf Occult Shop, home of Bad Wolf Ghost Tours. I think you see the trend.
And what kind of, so ghost tours, like where do you all go around downtown? Like what do you get to see on the Bad Wolf Ghost Tour?
So think of a ghost tour as like a haunted history tour. It's not a paranormal investigation. We're not going to catch Slimer with a proton pack. But like an old school New Orleans, we're going to show you a place that is really verified to be reported haunted, that really has a verified history of some tragic occurrence taking place. And then we can connect those stories. And when we find that kind of like mashup of the paranormal sightings and the history, that's how a building becomes included on the ghost tours.
So you're talking about buildings being haunted. This building that we're in right now, is this place haunted?
100%. This was actually there's a lovely history to this building. This was the first large fireproof building in San Antonio. It was the biggest shopping and office building in San Antonio at the time when it was built in 1904. I say fireproof because the architect figured out that if he sprayed the metal beams on the ceilings with concrete, during a fire, they would still keep their structural integrity. So he could rebuild on the bones of that building. And this was the kind of retail center of San Antonio. The original top floor was the 5th floor, and on the top, on the roof, was a ladies' tea garden. Only women servers and only women and girls allowed up there to have a right proper tea or brunch, you know. And because of that, I think the building was kind of seen as a ladies' safe space in downtown, the heart of downtown San Antonio.
Really?
And we do have a few lady hauntings. The middle of the building is a large atrium. It used to be open air.
I saw that. It was gorgeous.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And there's lawyers' offices in there. Custodians work at night. And the people who are here late say sometimes they'll hear a woman singing or whistling, humming a tune, and they go and they make sure nobody's in the building who shouldn't be in the building. Nobody's ever there. There's no explanation for it. A few times they've even heard what seems like a woman screaming like she's fallen from the 5th floor, the original top floor, all the way down through the open atrium to the bottom floor, which is technically the basement, 6 floors down. And the lawyers working late rush out of their offices. The custodians go and make sure everybody's okay. Nobody's ever there. There's no explanation for it, nothing on the cameras. The most interesting thing for me about it is the 6th floor of this building was added 5 years after construction, and they never ever hear the scream from the 6th floor, even though it's all open. There's a ceiling now to that area, so you can hear basically stuff from the basement to the 6th floor easily.
It's like that echo in time isn't just existing on that floor that didn't exist then.
Right.
That's incredible, man. Have you ever experienced anything? You've heard it? Are these commonplace story that everyone kind of just accepts that it's there, but has anyone ever tried to capture this thing? I
am here late at night, but I haven't heard it yet. I have heard humming, and I've looked around and I didn't see anyone. But I'd like to be pragmatic about it. There might have been someone there, a lady using the restroom or something like that, working late or something. But I have heard humming, so I'm intrigued. The haunting I've seen was actually in this building, or in this suite in my shop. And I had a meeting in the back room and locked up the front. And all 3 of us kind of heard hello from the front room, like I hadn't locked the door. And at first I thought I was losing it. I was like, did y'all hear that? And they said, yeah, someone's in your shop. I was like, crap, I didn't lock the door. I go out and there's nobody there. I pull up my phone, there's nobody on the cameras. I'm telling you, this lady's eyes who was with me got this big. And then right at that moment when we were all kind of standing in silence, dumbfounded, we hear from the back room where we just were, no way in or out, hello. The little girl was playing a trick on us. I love that story because there were 2 other people there, so I know I'm not just crazy.
On the topic of little girls, I mean, we do see this beautiful voodoo doll that we've come across. And we're very grateful to be using your space. And we're actually going to investigate this doll, which we spoke about briefly before we got here. This is a voodoo doll made by Momma Lola. Now, we brought up the topic of voodoo to you, good sir, and you knew a lot about voodoo. So if you could briefly tell us what you know about voodoo.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to say is when you're doing anything around voodoo, centering around voodoo at all, you have to maintain extreme respect, especially depending on where you come from. Because voodoo practitioners, their magic, they call on the ancestors, but not just their own ancestors, the ancestors of voodoo practitioners, voodoo families. So in America, sadly, that often means enslaved persons. So if you're going to do any sort of voodoo practice, you're calling on those people. So I would never do it myself. I don't feel like it's respectful for me to. But that's a very, very powerful magic. Can you imagine the energy of all those people and everything they've gone through helping out your spellcraft? Secondly, if I may use this.
Yes, this is a very interesting aspect.
So this is a candle for a voodoo loa named Papa Legba. As far as I understand, I know him as kind of like a crossroads spirit. You could make a deal with Papa Legba. If you ever, I'm told, if you're ever in New Orleans, probably near Bourbon Street, you see somebody with sunglasses on at night, smoking a cigar, maybe even a top hat, they're channeling Papa Legba. That's his energy there. But I bring out the candle because this symbol here is called a veve. And the veve is kind of a sigil for that spirit. And that's how you would give them respect or call on them for protection or call on them to appear. Yeah.
Some pretty heavy stuff, but you know, we're very grateful as well. Laura is on her way. Can you tell us a little bit about what Laura does and what she will perform that we're going to see here shortly? 100%.
So Laura is one of our most gifted tarot card readers here at Bad Wolf. She's also our head tour guide and our store manager. So she's a really big part of the family, and she's going to, if I understand correctly, do a tarot reading on the doll, maybe to communicate with it or the spirit within, maybe to learn a little bit about its history. You know, you can
see what happens.
Right, yeah. Absolutely. There's a lot of ways to.
She's on her way here right now, so we're going to see her very shortly. So, Wolf, can't thank you enough, man.
Yeah.
We're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens. It's going to be a blast. We're going to see y'all here in a few seconds.
All right, everybody. So we just got done with our interview with Wolf, which was super amazing. We got to learn some cool history about the building, as well as a little bit more picking his brain off of voodoo. But like we said, we're going to bring in Laura, who is a good friend of ours here at Bad Wolf Ghost Tours, and she was going to provide a tarot reading. So Laura, if you would like to say hello.
Hi.
So we are going to, as you can see here, we have the deck split up into 3 here. And Laura, do you kind of want to touch on what you were telling us about how you usually have not done one for an object, and kind of how you felt about that and how you're going to approach this?
Yes. I did use the word inanimate object as well, that I had never done a reading, which is true. But this is a lot more than that. So we'll be honest, I've never done a reading for a vessel before. Yeah. That's what we're speaking of. So normally with my clients, I have them shuffle the cards so that they can put all their energy in it, and their subconscious needs and messages will come forward, and those are the cards that we use. So I was kind of curious about how I was going to go about that process, shuffling for myself. I figured I would call upon my own faith and my own higher power, as well as my spirit guides, my ancestors, my energies as a female, a mother, and let that kind of be my guide. So we were talking, we were hanging out, we were getting our offerings ready.
Yep.
And I had the cards in my hand, and then I kind of started talking to you, and I looked down, and they were in 3 piles. And I have no conscious memory of putting them in 3 piles. And he said he didn't see me do it either. So that is extremely strange. And being that I've been working with Bad Wolf Ghost Tours as a professional in paranormal for 8 years now, some strange stuff happens all the time. But I would say in a tarot reading, that was really powerful. So with that being said, we are going to use this 3-card spread. We're going to take from the top each card, and if y'all are ready, we are going to ask that Momma Lola and her energy, as well as the energy of all of her ancestors, as well as all of her culture in voodoo, as well as all of the energies of the universe and all of the beautiful energies that have impacted and interacted with this doll and this vessel, to come through so that we can gather some more information about what we have going on here.
Do you want to maybe give her some of these offerings?
Yeah, before we flip any cards, let's do that.
Yeah, so we have some dirt here. We're going to give you all of the elements. So we're going to pour some dirt out here for you.
And this would be a good time to kind of bless the reading as well, which is something I normally do before any first reading.
So we're going to put it on the side. Obviously, the candles are going to go on the front because we don't want that falling over.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we're going to open this beer, because a lot of the times that alcohol is used for water. Let's put that over on the side here.
Yes.
And then fire. And in the back, breath.
Beautiful.
All right.
All right.
Oh man, that I
feel it, dude.
Look at my arms.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's a lot of energy that just came off
sure
of that.
is.
I felt it took some time to reach me, but I started to feel it once you started talking about it.
Well, I hope you like that. We hope that the gateway can come open and see what the cards say.
Okay, so if y'all are ready, we'll do the first card. And it is the Hierophant card. This card is a deeply spiritual card. So this is our reminder that what we are doing here is with deep respect for the culture and for the spiritual practices, because that is what this is. This card also invites us to really open up our energies in our hearts so that we can take the messages that are being given to us and understand that they are real and that they are things that can truly enlighten us and give us deep spiritual awakenings. This card also invites us to, as we take the role on as being the person that is learning from this, we are actually also going to be in the role as to teach others. So this is our reminder of how important the work that you all are doing and we are all doing in the world of paranormal, in the spiritual world, in the occult, so that we can have more definitive evidence, as it is infinitely valuable. So that's what this card is all about right here.
Amen.
Wow, that's interesting. Just especially what we're looking for here is this.
And that card is once again called?
It's the Hierophant card, and it's a card about the sacred exchange of knowledge. That's how I normally would describe it. So this is the card in the deck that reminds us that we are.
Interesting. It's that card to go off with.
Yeah, that is very important. What role that we are doing now, and to respect so much. It's also the card of deep spiritual practices, such as your faith, your higher power, your religion. Everything that we're doing in the occult and metaphysical, all of these deep, passionate roles in our lives. So this is a reminder how big this is. This is our first card here. So the second card that we have is the Emperor card. The Emperor cards, in tarot, there are cards like King of Cups and Queen of Swords, and for me those cards do not hold gender. We can all have those characteristics of the King and the Queen, the Knight and the Page, but for me there are two cards that do kind of hold those gender roles, and it is the Emperor, the male, the father, the leader, and then the Empress, the female, the mother. So this card is demanding that we see this vessel and this energy as the leader and as somebody that is majorly important, like a king of all, realms kind of energy is what I'm getting here. Because I touched on it being male, I don't want to hold that gender here at all. I just want to hold who the emperor would be. So think about as you are growing up and you're a child and that father in your life, he's all. He's the provider, he's the protector. That's the energy that I'm getting here. So this energy here is that of somebody that is a ruler that has definite power, and also going back here should be respected. Very much so.
Very interesting.
Wow.
This is like kind of
intense.
Now, because this card is in reverse, though, I will say that there's probably a lot of disrespect that goes on, not here, but just within the culture, or just within the paranormal. Maybe people don't take it as seriously as they should, and it goes back to knowledge and enlightenment and respect. That's the way I see it. Y'all ready for that final card?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
With the cards, the way that you flip them, is there significance in the way that they're flipped and what they mean in order, or is it just a totality?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of times there are spreads that you can do. You've probably heard of the most popular one, past, present, future. So if we were doing something like that, we could put a value on the cards. It could be yourself, somebody else, their relationship. But we don't want to, that kind of extra value isn't needed here. This is so deep that these cards are just going to tell us their meaning. Now, the order, I do believe, means something, especially since I don't remember putting them, even separating these three decks at all. I was planning on concentrating real hard. How am I going to shuffle? And am I going to let the cards fly out, which is the thing I don't normally do. I normally never shuffle. This is the client's thing. So when I looked down and I saw three piles, I kind of freaked out for a minute. And I'm glad you backed me up there, because I was like, But again, working in the paranormal for so long, you tend to just go with it. Yeah. But we have cameras. Maybe they were rolling. Maybe we could check. I don't know.
I want to note, because people watching can't feel it, but I feel like it's really hot in here.
It's funny you say that, because below the table there's just been this
It's
swirling
cold.
cold
Yes,
breeze
it's so
underneath
cold.
the
My
table.
feet
No, I
are
feel
so
like
cold.
it's like starting to turn into a sauna in here, and it's like
Yeah.
it's a well ventilated building.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny they said that. You feel that cold swirling underneath us? It's like the air conditioning's on, yes, but it's like...
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
It almost feels like you said, like movement there.
Yeah.
So going back to that question, I do think that there is something of a meaning in here, and how you flip them is important. For example, I guess we'll do another card here. If you turn it this way, you're going to change the position if it's upside down or not, and that means something. Cards in reverse often depict, like I said here, disrespect. So this is the Emperor, the Father. You would think that comes with a lot of authority and things, but it being in the reverse position, I would say is like a disrespect or a struggle. So when you are flipping tarot cards, you want to be careful that you pull it straight down and then just do a turn, because you could get into something like that, and that could make a difference. I guess since we are using an example, we'll see the other card here. It's the Knight of Cups. It's also in reverse. Cups here, which is kind of a bonus card we're moving into, I guess, are our emotions, our feelings. So this is a reminder that this vessel has a heart and has feelings. In fact, the Knight is almost the Romeo for me of the tarot deck. So this is telling me that...
What is that?
Her earrings are hearts.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. Yeah, this is telling me that there has been a lot of love and energy and passion, and that's kind of what feeds it here. That's what I'm getting from this card, especially pairing the Emperor. So it's like that disrespect is a no-no, but following your heart and doing things the right way, especially when we're talking about matters of things such as importance of spirituality, voodoo being our spiritual practice here. Moving on to our final card. Y'all ready?
Yes,
Yeah, sure.
very much so.
It is the Eight of Cups. Cups are our emotions. The 8, when flipped over, is an infinite sign. So this is a reminder that this is an infinite amount of energy and of love and of passion for these things that really fuels the fire here. The warning here, though, is to really learn to forgive yourself, forgive the flaws of the past. Do not live in the past. The reminder here is, though the things that have come before us shape us, and here we would be talking, you know, about our ancestors and where we come from and all of that. Our future and depends on us learning those lessons and moving forward. So this is a card that is dependent on that personal perspective.
That's like super interesting as well, because Momma Lola was born in Haiti, right, 1928, and she moved to Brooklyn, New York for a long time, practicing traditional Haitian Voodoo, and then moved down into New Orleans, where you kind of get into that world of the disparity between Haitian and the colonialized Voodoo. And I just was thinking about from the past and moving on from these things and learning, and a lot of the New Orleans Voodoo was inspired by slaves who were forced to be baptized and not allowed to do their religion. I'm rambling here, but it's just more.
No, I get it. It's deep. It's very deep, and it's very heavy stuff. And although we can't personally relate to that narrative, everyone struggles with things that they're going through from their past, and for a lot of us, it's like your own worst enemy. So I would say that the message here is, if you really want to get the experience with the vessel, if we're really going to have these messages come through, we got to let go of those ties that bind us. Being our own worst enemy is kind of the message here, and also deeply following your heart and letting that really be the way, the infinite way. And the 8 of Cups tells us here. So to wrap it up with this message here, this is our reminder that this is some deeply serious shit, and that it deserves to be respected, and that the more that we do, that enlightenment will give us the way, and also give us that value of sharing that knowledge with other people, which is so important. This must be respected. The energy here is that of a leader, of a king of the spirit world, and that I'm using as a non-gender term in this sense, even though I spoke about that because this vessel and these spirits, they don't have those binds that we do, so we'll leave that there. So this is to be utmost respected at all times, and a reminder that this one, it was talking about being that Romeo of the tarot deck, that there is a love and passion and energy that is our life force, like our role as humans to kind of enjoy one another and have those experiences. So I invite that there, and letting go of that past failures and traumas and things that bind us, so that we can continue to move forward.
Well, that is infinitely interesting regarding kind of what, when we were doing our research, Brian, into the different Loas and the different deities, that speaks a lot, so actually.
Really?
Yeah, especially with you said some really serious stuff. Like, there's some specific Loas that are like very, very powerful that these priestesses and priests call upon. And that's why the Emperor card was like, chilled me out when you pulled it, is because we were wondering if this was a human spirit, or more like Wolf was saying, like this universal energy. And it kind of makes me think, based off of the cards that you flipped, that it might be something more like that rather than a spirit. But you know, we'll never know until we investigate her here. So
yeah, so I am very excited about that, especially since the spread came so organically. I do feel that there was a supernatural pull that led to these 3 piles, and I just hope I deciphered that message with as much respect as I can, and that it came across clearly. From here, if y'all want to get like some final shots of the spread or something, we can kind of move it to the side, and then we can play with the pendulum, which is going to be so much fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so you want to give us a second to clear these cards, and then we'll be right back, and we're going to use this pendulum here, and we're going to ask some yes/no questions and see what comes through. So yeah, we will be back right here in a second.
All right, so we're back, and we're just about to begin the pendulum, or the pendulum board. How would you call this?
Yeah, it's a pendulum session. It's divination with pendulum. Any kind of chain with something at the bottom that can give you directions. Normally you'd ask for a yes, no, show me a yes, show me a no. It would swing different ways, but we got this beautiful board. So the most basic questions to start with is there someone here that wants to speak with us? And it looks like it's getting an instant yes. You guys see that?
You're not influencing that motion in any way.
No. The ideal is to keep it as still as you can. You often want to take breaks if you're dealing with pendulum, especially if the paranormal overwhelms you, because you don't want to be like shaking and moving too much. You can even kind of steady your hand if that's a problem. So we got an instant yes, and then it went back to the center. So I'm thinking it's open for another question. Do you guys want to ask one? We can ask. It doesn't have to be yes or no because we have the alphabet. And it's looking like it's ready to give us an answer.
Is it a female spirit? I guess I should. Let's go with that. Female spirit.
Looking like no.
Whoa, what was that?
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
That was a voice.
Yes, it was.
Was that you?
No, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
It was off to our right.
No,
I
heard me.
It was like a low grumble.
Oh, okay. So maybe you should ask, is it a male?
Are you...
Oh, it says no. It's not a male or a female.
I was about to say, maybe we should start with, are you a human being?
No. Strong no.
Okay, can it reset?
It's resetting on its own, dude.
Weird energy, dude.
Yeah,
it's spinning now. Why don't you give us the message that you like? Spell something for us that you want us to know.
Are you...
It kind of looks like it's going towards the L and the M.
Momma Lola, M-L. I don't know.
Okay, we got the M.
M.
Next letter.
Dude, it's seriously going to another letter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going back and forth to each one. I've never had a pendulum work so beautifully for me.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How long you been doing this?
Professionally, about 3 years.
It's so weird. It's like creeping towards it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it is very slowly. I've never seen it. Almost wanting to stop. No, it's keeping going. M1 or MZ?
MZ, MY?
Let us know if you need to take breaks too. I know it's kind of tiring to hold.
Nah, it's okay. I'm very excited. I'm exhilarated.
Wow.
Okay, we have an MY or an MZ.
And we'll be able to review it on the camera too to see like.
Maybe my.
Dude,
Here it goes again. My.
That's.
B or an A? My B.
That's B.
MYB. Okay.
No way.
Look how it's like it's almost
Yeah,
like
it's
walking.
going all
It
over
is.
the place. That's a MYB.
You?
U.
My boo?
It's stopped, kind of.
Yeah, MYB.
Okay, we'll take a little pause and let have a little break. Do you guys want to try to hold it and see if it responds for you?
I think
I think you should.
Pendulums have been working forever. It's like the oldest, other than flipping a coin, yes or no? This is like the next one. So it's not very difficult or challenging other than trying to stay steady.
Oh.
I kind of have a question I want to ask.
Yeah.
Are you the pure spirit of the Loa that Momma Lola contacted during this ritual? During this, what should you say? This energy binding? No.
That's a no.
Okay.
I'm holding this still.
I have a question. Are you an energy or spirit that is from this building and this location, as this is a well-known haunted building?
That's a good question.
Dude,
It's looking like a yes.
Maybe?
Oh, maybe. Yes or
a
maybe.
toy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's hard to
Should
keep
we
that.
re-ask that question?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you a spirit, energy, from this location? This building, Alamo Plaza.
Seriously, no.
Yeah, it went from yes to no. It went from yes to maybe to no. Okay, so next question. Are you a spirit energy tied to our beautiful doll of Momma Lola's? I'm so glad we're recording this.
Oh, strong yes.
Yes. Okay, wonderful.
Wow, I have chills.
Thank you so much for answering our questions.
I'm just trying to go with the flow right now.
Well, we have to kind of ask another question to keep it going.
Okay. Look at that. It's like ready for another one.
Now, since this vessel was blessed by the great Momma Lola, are you a positive energy?
It's like thinking.
Yeah. It's thinking like me, like, why'd you have to ask that question?
Doesn't want to say.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of moving towards yes, but before that it looked like it was moving towards unknown, to be honest.
Kind of wants to scare you or something? Or?
I mean, maybe it's just not... I mean, that is a... if you want to take a break, that question is kind of objective. Are you a positive energy, you know? So, you know, I guess it's not always as black and white, that type of question. But it's also kind of fun for it to have the way it played with us there, right? Kind of spooky.
I mean, when you asked if it was a energy tied from Momma Lola, I mean, that thing swung yes. I mean, that was a strong...
Don't you find it fascinating how it feels like there's a magnet? Okay, right?
It
feels like something's moving.
I'm keeping my hand steady, and I'm trying to be as, you know, objective as I can for anyone who's watching, and it just starts dancing and does its own thing.
Yes, so I will be the first to say that we sell pendulums here at the shop, so we often demo them. And you will say, give me a yes, and it'll move. And it's powerful because it feels like there's some kind of force, like a magnet. And I've used pendulum boards in my practice, you know, professionally for several years. But I've never had a pendulum dance and walk to each letter like that at all.
MYB or M...
Yeah.
MYBU.
That's amazing. I think we need to ask more questions.
MYZU, maybe? Yuzu?
Well, like I said, this camera is rolling it sees it perfectly, so you'll be able to
spell it out.
Yeah, different variations. Because there was like that Y and the Z and the 1 was kind of close there. What other question do we have?
Do we ask if it was a Loa? Or
we did ask that.
It
said no. It wasn't a pure energy of a Loa. I'm curious in the fact of. I want to ask about kind of the tarot, like meanings.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so so we can say, what question did you really have about which card?
For the first card, when she pulled, it was the
Hierophant card, the sacred exchange of knowledge.
Is that something that you wanted to relay? Is that your energy, it had something to do with something sacred, something powerful?
Yes, strong yes.
And with could you put it back to neutral, please? With the Emperor card, are you a spirit or an energy that deserves great respect?
It's like dancing in circles. It was going towards yes?
It still is now.
It's going towards yes, yeah.
I do want to acknowledge that we are doing this with the utmost respect. Yes. So if that is your wishes, you do have the utmost respect of all of the living energies communicating with you at this time.
Did you appreciate the offerings that we gave you? The fire, the earth, the water, and the breath? Was that something good that we did? We want to learn more about your energy in the practice.
It looks like it's moving all over, but it's kind of circling to rephrase, and yes. I don't know, that one's kind of difficult to decipher.
I'll rephrase it. Did we appropriately offer you the elements?
That's a yes.
Is there anything else that we can offer you?
That's a no. rephrase. Unknown.
Would you like to spell out an offering that you would like?
Yes.
Please do so.
That was 100% a yes.
I'm interested in spelling those words again because that was so freaking cool. Maybe O or NRP?
I think it's weird. It's doing like circles around maybe. Or it was. Well, now it's
I'm
walking
focusing
again.
on the alphabet.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
O, N, R, P was look like the first letter. A or O? A or 0? N, A, O, A.
Whoa.
This is like Scrabble or something. We need to have like a paper and a pen.
I can take notes.
N, A. N-A-Z or N-A-Y. The first one was N-O-P. The last one looked like A or 0. And what was this last one? Maybe Y-Z or 1? Not sure.
No, it's not.
It's beautiful to watch, but it's kind of frustrating to try to figure out what those letters mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
E. It looks like we might have more breakthroughs with the yes or no questions.
Yeah.
True.
But I do want to look back at all that, definitely.
Yeah.
Is the parchment?
Let's see, hold on.
Yeah.
You want to try?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all can trade off.
Yeah, that seems like a good thing to do. And then if something comes through, I'll take the note.
Yeah, the parchment. Oh, ask her if we can open it. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I don't know. I want to know. I don't
So
want to be.
the parchment that's associated with this doll. Should we open it?
Oh,
No.
Strong no.
This is no.
Strong no.
I am staying perfectly still.
Yeah. And you guys are referring to this here, rolled up on the doll?
Oh, dude,
okay.
it's real. I'm feeling it. It's really saying no. You shouldn't do that.
Are you guys going to respect that?
yes.
I think
Look at
that's
it.
an awesome, so awesome how y'all both said yes like that.
Okay, we'll respect that. You know,
Okay.
dude, it's not stopping. It's like you better not.
Okay. Could you reset that to neutral, please? So I can ask another question. Wow, look at it just lose momentum like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Inside of that parchment, is that what seals the negative energy that was scraped off by the chicken's foot and absorbed into the black candle? And to open it would to release the energy? To release the blessing? Might have been too complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to advise.
If we open the envelope, will that release the evil that is sealed inside?
I'd say maybe.
Yeah, it's maybe it's like one of those like hit or miss things. Like yeah, it might.
But definitely with that, to that effect, you want to make the questions as short and precise as possible, just to avoid confusion.
How would you rephrase it to keep it simple?
That question, would it release negativity, or would it reverse the blessing if that was to be opened, something like that? So would it reverse the blessing if they opened the parchment? Looks like a yes.
Look at it dancing. I mean, it's in a different hand, but it's like a magnet's pulling it down.
I'm telling you, yeah, I often describe it to people, and it's the funnest thing to sell to the public, because some people come in knowing nothing about the paranormal, and they'll play with it, and they'll feel that.
I've done the pendulum once or twice, so just I'm cautious.
Yes.
You know, but you're here, so
yeah.
I feel a little bit more comfortable.
And, you know yourself, and I know myself and our beliefs in the paranormal, and the last thing we'd ever do was, put our own energy there and, move it around to try to get something, to get an
No, 'cause
experience.
that's totally against it.
Yeah, that's not what we do.
Well, I just want to ask her one more question.
I'll do it.
All right.
Super exciting.
Surprisingly tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's that focus and that strength. You gotta get to the gym.
Are you happy that we brought you out of Hill House?
Good question.
Yes. Yeah, that's a resounding yes.
I've never had a spirit that I can ask this to that's answering questions, so I really want to know this. Is Toby the demon in that house? Is he a demon?
I'd say yes. It's yes. It's
I mean, it's
pulling
kind of
right towards
asking
yes.
if the night sky's dark.
Yeah,
Well, I knew he is, but
you should feel how it feels like it's a magnet pulling down to yes, like
It's
it wants
on
it
yes.
wants me to stop and put it on yes.
Well, we know that, right? But I've never actually been able to ask a
It
spiritual...
doesn't even want to stay away from yes.
I've never been able to ask a spiritual energy.
I have a question. The beautiful vessel of Momma Lola's doll here. Do you like being here at Bad Wolf Ghost Tours?
Hmm?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That's I don't know, because it's going in a circle.
Yeah.
Maybe it's feeling it out. Like, I don't know yet.
Yeah, well, that's fine. We do like having you here very much so. We are very
Whoa.
honored for this presence.
Maybe it was thinking.
Yes.
Like, yes, I do like it here.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
Thank you. Well, I know this is like I said, this is buildings from 1904. Deaths have been in the building, lots of hauntings here. And being that we are just steps away from the battle site, the main battle that ended, the Battle of the Alamo after the 13-day siege, I mean, that just happened a few feet down from us where everyone died. So this is an extremely active paranormal area. So I can imagine, even being from Hill House where there's a lot of maybe demonic activity, being here as a spiritual form is, challenging. There's a lot of energy already here. So it's nice to see that, she seems to be fitting in.
Well, I think that was very interesting.
Do we have to say goodbye to the board or close the session in any way?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Would you like to do it? Yeah, so
I just want to make sure I'm good,
Yeah. We just want to thank the energies. We want to thank Momma Lola and the vessel doll here and all the spirits of the building. And we pull from our own higher powers to help close this session with respect and honor so that everything that was done here may stay here. And so it is.
All right. Well,
Amen.
I think the next... Yes.
Done.
I think the next step, we'll clear off the pendulum board, we'll clear off the cards, we will break out some equipment, and we can try to ask her some more questions that way and see what happens. Maybe something.
Thank you so much for leading us through that.
Yes,
That was
anytime.
That was something else.
Yeah, the pendulum, you can really feel that power.
You can. 1000%. We're going to be right back. All right, so we're here in the dark now. We're going to give this one last chance. We got the candle lit here, but we got all the devices out just the same. But maybe the entity that's attached to this doll or the spirits within this building likes the dark, which in a lot of cases they do. So that being said, if you feel more comfortable with the lights out, please feel free to make yourself known. We would greatly appreciate that. And you can touch the REM portal. You can make the candle flicker. You can touch the motion activated cat balls. You can speak audibly into the microphone.
I don't know if you're cool with this, Marcos, but
Yeah.
you can touch us if you'd like. Laura, I don't know if you're alright with that.
I'm cool.
You're alright with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can reach out and make contact with us if you'd like. Tap us on the shoulder.
Show up as a spirit orb with our infrared cameras.
I was really hoping to pull from my energies and powers as a female and as a mother to interact or and to instigate activity. So,
Is that something you'd be interested in? So you can set off a cat ball, you can touch that portal in front of you.
You can whisper in my ear if you wish.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or, what's that? Something jingling?
Jingling?
Yeah, I hear some kind of electrical interference, but I don't have anything electrical in my ear. Is there something moving on the table?
No.
That was, I don't know what to make of that. Huh. Maybe it's the candle flickering? Please make your spirit known, your presence known. If you could validate that for anyone watching. That's the only reason that we're doing this, is to share what we feel when we're in your presence.
Because we respect your energy for sure, 100%, because you can feel it coming off of you. You have a very real energy to you. You have a very strong energy to you.
Definitely thankful for the experience that we had with the tarot, as well as the pendulum board. It was so beautiful to watch your magnificent energy use the pendulum to dance the alphabet. It's, I could say, the most powerful spiritual pendulum energy experience that I've had, and I am so thankful to have had that experience. It would be wonderful for the experiences to continue in some way here, but nevertheless, we are grateful for what we have witnessed.
I couldn't help but notice that candle flame was dancing. Is that you? That's a very old form of spirit communication. Can you make that candle grow or dance in unnatural ways? I was watching it.
It's doing something. It's moving back and forth right now. There it goes again.
No way.
Yay! Thank
Maybe it
you.
just communicates in the old ways.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I noticed it as well.
You know, all these items in front of it might be too
new,
too modern spiritual age. You know, it's,
the pendulum, like I said, goes back to the coin toss, so that makes sense.
Also, I mean, like I said, like Momma Lola, she was born in 1928. She died in 2020, but who knows when this binding or this energy, this blessing was conducted. I mean, if there's a spirit that's bound, or if there's an energy that's bound, I mean, you know, maybe the stuff in front of it is just like, what the heck is this? Like, you know, it's like it knows how to communicate through the traditional ways.
And fire is the ultimate power on the table. That
is true.
I like that. Very primal and very strong.
Is that true? Is the fire an attractant because it's a powerful symbol, a powerful energy? Is that why you're choosing to?
No way.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
No way. It's just. Thank you.
Thank you again.
There's no fan above us.
Whoa! I just for sure 110%, no questions asked. On the door here to the left,
yeah,
yes,
there was a shadow that just like moved across the wall.
Awesome.
It was low, but it went like across the door.
I wonder if any of the cameras
hold
caught
on.
that.
Could that be somebody walking on the outside?
No, the shop next door is vacant, and there's nobody working on it, and the door's locked, so there's nobody. There's like a little room right here. So
now, unless you just had because that door's locked out there.
Yeah, the door's locked out. We're locked it. Nobody's in it. We're in a building, yes, but there's nobody on the other side of either of these two doors from us.
Well, if that's true what Dylan said, and he saw you, can you come interact with us in some other way, please? Just to validate that what he saw was real, or is it the trick of the eyes?
The candles.
Oh yeah.
Responding. Thank you very much for that validation. And we do appreciate you manipulating the candles so that others can see what we see.
St. Louis again. It's like the candle itself is like making a noise. Like the,
Ooh, look, yes. I love it. It is
I
so
feel it now.
beautiful.
Oh, it's like sending its energy
I'm
back on.
mesmerized, y'all.
That noise, you hear that, right?
It could be, you know what it could be? It could be the flame licking the melted wax. Like when it moves.
Right. It was just a bizarre scene.
There's no response for the way that flame is dancing, though.
No, it's kind of weird.
It's
Say
super.
it has gotten colder.
Look at it. Look at it.
I feel it kind of getting colder too down here. I'm at like your head level now. I mean, heat rises, right? But I'm not. Shouldn't vary that much, especially since the AC unit's
Dude,
above
what
us.
is going on with the... You know,
I felt the energy associated
I
with
really
the sound,
love how
so it
that
just, like,
the
jumped.
candle kind of just like deep, 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 right?
what's weird about
It's like a Morse code candle or something.
what's weird about the candle too is it's like twisting. Have you noticed that it's like twisting and twirling?
Yeah.
Yes, it's dancing almost the same way the pendulum was.
But there's like very, 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 very light airflow back here.
Yeah, no, I light candles on my table all the time for tarot, and they normally don't have that movement. Is all I can describe it as. Like it's moving as if like we were outdoors with the wind or something, you know.
Yeah.
So is that? I don't know what to ask. You know, other than, you know, obviously that's you interacting with the candle.
Is there any other way you can show us your power or express your power to us?
What?
I don't know. It's,
Give me the stare.
low grunt or something over there. Oh.
Are you trying to make sounds that are audible enough for us to hear?
Well, with everything that you've given us, we very much appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
I very much appreciate the answers that you gave us on the pendulum board. We felt your energy. We validate you personally, and hopefully we can validate you objectively as well with anything that we may have captured and share you with the world, because we think you're a wonderful doll with a very profound and powerful energy to it.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you. And I think with that being said, our time has come out and run out. So
We got to thank Laura. We got to thank Wolf over here at Bad Wolf.
Yeah.
Ghost tours down here in historic downtown San Antonio.
yes,
I think there's more to come, and you know, the best is just beginning with this strange collection that we're come across, and to have, you know, Laura in your presence with us, giving us your experience and your
Thank
insight.
you. It was
It's
amazing.
adding a whole nother level to things, and it's been a pleasure.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better myself. We are profoundly grateful for this mystical experience, and we look forward to sharing more.
absolutely. But yeah, so this was part one to investigating haunted objects with some awesome people here at Bad Wolf Ghost Tours, and I think, like you said, we'll be coming back for
Oh, yeah.
future episodes.
I think we have a
events.
spirit board that Wolf wants to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have the spooky, bad energy, haunted as heck Ouija board, so that one's probably coming next. So with that, we're signing off. We'll pack up. We should
Bye.
get this out to you Friday. We'll see y'all later.
Later.
See ya.